My name's Ali Jawad. My sport is para-powerlifting. I'm 32 years old. I'm from Tottenham and I'm a double leg amputee. I came from Lebanon when I was 6 months old, moved to Tottenham. I remember us living with my uncle at the time in a 1-bedroom apartment in Lebanon. There was a massive war going on, civil war. Disabled people weren't really treated very nicely in Lebanon. So if you had a disabled child, they're more likely to not really have a normal life because there was no facilities, no resources. When I was born, the doctor kind of asked my parents to kind of get rid of me, basically, because there was no life for a disabled kid in Lebanon. So my parents obviously refused and said no. They kind of thought that actually, in order for me to have a normal-ish life, I need to kind of flee and take me to a country that might give me that normality. My parents had a choice whether or not they enrolled me into a special needs school or a mainstream school. And I think my parents thought actually they wanted to give me as much kind of potential opportunities as possible. So what they did was they enrolled me to a school that had no facilities, so no ramps, no lifts. And they go, right, this is life. This is going to be you. So you're going to have to get used to it on a daily basis. So all I did was I left the chair downstairs and crawled up the stairs and slid down the stairs and put my chair on my back and started climbing. What they realized was that them little micro doses of adversity, if you call it that, as a kid, they felt that when I became older, I could adapt to anything thrown at me. So I never actually considered myself as having any sort of impairment because I was always involved in all the mainstream stuff and nobody treated me any differently. So when I was 11, I was in the playground. Somebody called me a name. I started beating them up. And the teacher said, right, detention after school. But then she said, oh, would you come to the sports hall instead of the detention room? And I was like, okay, that's weird. Obviously after school, I was quite nervous in my first detention, went to the sports hall and these mats were laid out. And she said, look, what I saw today, even though it was wrong, I heard what he called you. And, the way you wrestled him, you've got potential. It made me excited that I could get to Paralympic Games in the sport. And we committed to 5 years in judo. It kind of taught me discipline from a very, very early age when I was about 11. When I was 15, I went to, I think it was the European Championships, I think judo. So I was 15 at the time. I managed to beat a 28-year-old man who's not been beaten for 7 years. I couldn't believe, it was the toughest fight of my life. But I felt that was enough to qualify me for Athens. Nobody realized that actually, even though I could compete in judo, at the Paralympic Games, there's no classification for amputees. It's only available for the blind and visually impaired. So I'm not going to the Games at all. And that was heartbreaking because my dream was to always go to the Games, no matter what. My parents said it's about time that I focused on my GCSEs. So I kind of quit. I think it was after my maths exam. Literally straight after, my friend was like, oh, I need to go, I'm going to the gym across the road, do you want to come? And I was like, no, I need to go home and revise because my parents will kill me. But he literally forced me to go to the gym. And someone that's never picked up weight before in their life got in there, and this gym was old, it was dusty, it was dirty, it was like a true Rocky Balboa-esque sort of montage. On the first day that I was there, I lifted 100 kilo, didn't know what I was doing. And I got spotted by the people in the gym, and this old man comes into the room. He goes, oh, can you come to my office? And I was like, oh, I'm in big trouble. I don't know what I've done. And he said to me, look, I don't know who you are. I don't know how old you are, but you look quite young. But what you've just done, not many men do that. You've got the potential to make a Paralympic Games in the sport. Would you mind if I coached you for free? The mentors that I had along my journey that gave me their time for free because they saw the potential. And if it wasn't for that, I don't think I'd probably be here because financially I just couldn't afford the coaches until I got into the national team. He said that he'll give me his best if I give him my best. So, luckily I qualified for Beijing on my birthday, which was the greatest birthday present ever. So we made Beijing, and I think I surprised him. But the national anthem being raised on a podium for me is probably the best feeling I'm ever going to get. My hopes and aspirations for Tokyo are probably, at the moment, I don't know. I'm not the old Ali of Rio. I think my best years are behind me. I accepted from the very beginning 5 years ago that I'm probably not going to be on the podium ever again. I keep saying to people, don't judge me on the medal, judge me on the fact that I never gave up in a situation that actually a lot of people would have retired 5 years ago from. I think that the skills you learn as a Paralympian, they're very valuable. You can definitely transfer it to society and the community. them skills, being part of the team, obviously monitoring how you are daily, being very resilient to challenges, being adaptable to anything coming your way, working as part of a multidisciplinary team as well. You learn so much, not only about yourself, but other people and how to interact. Public speaking, media training, things that make you way more confident. I'm lucky that, when I do eventually retire, I've got a skill set that is rare in businesses and in a society. And I'm hoping that I could be a good employee or a boss. We'll see.